Greetings and salutations, my friends. Today I want to share with you a discovery of sorts that I made in my speculative endeavors. Now, I'm pretty sure, most likely, that something like this has already been described by someone and even probably debunked. So I would really like to hear your thoughts and discuss this idea, but I will still share it. Now, me myself, I'm a Ben Noah. I believe in the one true God of Abraham and the divinity of the Torah, but something that I discussed today will also be probably interesting for anyone who is a believer of monotheism, specifically, especially the Abrahamic tradition, like Christians, Muslims, and other smaller groups. Now, first of all, I have to make it clear that this is not a proof, because in my opinion, proofs don't really exist in our material reality. Proofs are sort of thing that exists in the realm of perfect idealized objects, like in mathematics, right? In mathematics, you do have these perfectly rational proofs that work every time. Of course, in everyday life, we do have things like a proof beyond any reasonable doubt. This is something that is commonly used and made and described in the court of law, right? Where the uncertainty of the circumstance is small enough that we can make a decision. But something like this is impossible with God, truly impossible. Why is that so? Well, because we do have freedom. This is a fundamental idea that I will use today. People do have freedom, and one of those freedoms is, of course, to choose to believe or not to believe in God. Now, if we do have a fully rational proof that can't be argued with, a proof of the existence of God, now it would mean that a person doesn't have a choice anymore to be righteous or no, because he knows precisely. And this is why this proof is impossible for us. So, with this covered, let me ask you a simple question. Why don't you have children? This might sound like something crazy. Like, why would this random person ask you something like this on the internet? Even if, for example, you do have children, right? It's even more weird. Or on the other case, you're a minor yourself. Like, it's quite inappropriate, right? But this is very important for evolution, right? This is the most important thing for creatures to do, to procreate and to have offspring, right? I really like Richard Dawkins' theory about selfish genes, even though the man himself is not a big fan of our creator, the Almighty. You might know that he is not a big fan of that. However, he does have a really good theory called the selfish gene. He talks about the gene itself as being the thing that is natural selection is selecting for. The gene is the thing that wants to survive, to multiply, and to expand, right? Um, but of course, you probably have really good reasons to answer me, right? If we return to my first question, you might say things like, your relationship is not yet fresh, and you want to be trust with absolute certainty your partner. You still need a lot of time, or some economic reasons exist, right? For example, you want to create some infrastructure for your children before they even exist, and these are all valid, very strong reasons. But from the point of natural selection and from evolution, this is complete nonsense. Yes, it doesn't really matter what kind of economic situation you do have. You still need to procreate, to save your genes and to pass them on. And this really shows us the distinction between humans, why humans are fundamentally distinct from all other living creatures on Earth. Uh, it's said that all humans are created in the image of God. Well, today we do know that chimpanzees are very close to us genetically. In fact, 99% of chimpanzees' DNA is uh, the same as in humans, right? Very similar genetics. Now, can we say then that chimpanzees are 99% created in the image of God? Of course, no. That sounds like nonsense. Because created in the image of God means something different. It means that we are kind of creators ourselves, little creators, right? We can create things not from nothing like He, like the Almighty, but we can create things from matter, uh, new things, and particularly new ideas. And all of these things, our ability to create, our free agency, our free will, the will to decide and to fight, quote unquote, evolution, act against it, really shows why people are fundamentally different from all living creatures. So this suggests, doesn't prove, of course, but suggests that we are created. Of course, we arose from evolution, right? Because our ancestors, direct ancestors, were actual animals, right? But we sort of succeeded and, in a way, maybe finished evolution even. So this is the whole of my idea. I hope you found it interesting. I certainly did. Maybe you think that this is complete nonsense, but I would like to hear your thoughts in the comments. Remember that our belief should never be a justification to act against morality and against science, because we do have a very important goal here on earth, to serve the Almighty and to better the world in any way possible. Thank you.